In Capital News tonight, Chadema announces its election manifesto and date for collecting the presidential nomination form. Energy and Water Regulatory Authority clarifies on the fuel situation in the country. And in sports, the National Athletics Association directs organizers of Njiro Fun Run, Dodoma Marathon and Utalii Mpya to adhere to procedures for getting permits. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start off with the national news. The General Meeting of Opposition Chadema Party has approved Tundu Lissu as their presidential candidate in the coming general election, with the Secretary General John Mnyika announcing that the presidential nomination form will be collected on August 8th at the National Electoral Commission's office in Dodoma. The meeting was also attended by various political and religious leaders, as well as representatives of public and private institutions.
Ofisi ya msajili wa vyama vya siasa iko biased.
The party registrar office is biased. It is openly partial. It calls itself a guardian for the political parties. We want the party registrar office not to favor Chadema, but rather to favor justice in our nation.
Zamie kutendeka kwa uchaguzi ule huru na haki. Hamna hilo.
We should not expect for the election to be free and fair. This shall not be the case.
Kwanza, taifa letu linadumu katika amani.
Our nation thrives in peace and unity. Development comes from the people through self-reliance.
The Registrar of Political Parties, Judge Francis Mutungi, has warned political parties to adhere to laws and procedures after opposition party Chadema added a third verse in the national anthem, which is a violation of the law. Chadema sang the song yesterday in Dar es Salaam during the party's Central Council meeting.
Cha msingi labda niseme hivi, nimekereka na nimekwazika sana na kilichojitokeza kwenye mtandao.
I'm not happy with what has been published on the web after one political party, Chadema, during its meeting decided to add an extra verse to the national anthem, which is not right. There is an authority which is responsible for such issues, which shall look into the matter.
And the President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has said that the agricultural sector needs to be given more priority, as it is a key sector which can prevent hunger and loss of peace and stability. Dr. Shein made the statement at Kizimani area when opening the Nane Nane Fair in the island.
Without progressive development in the agricultural sector, then peace and harmony which we enjoy will suffer, and food security will be affected too. Our government has been implementing the Zanzibar Food Security and Nutrition Act, aimed at creating a conducive environment that will enable Zanzibar at any time to have access to adequate food and good nutrition.
Kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu ni tudumishe amani.
This year's motto is promoting peace and harmony and development in the agricultural sector in the country.
And Musoma Municipal and Mar region has continued to face fuel shortage, a situation that has caused motorists to carry containers to Musoma town to fill up fuel at the few stations still providing services at hiked prices of between 3,000 and 5,000 shillings a litre.
I'm from Serengeti district and I have come to Musoma, where I have found fuel shortage which has caused problems. I think the government needs to look into it so that the public doesn't experience difficulty. There is no fuel anywhere, even in the villages. Fuel stations have been closed down, and that is why we are queuing here for such a long time. We still don't know if fuel is really unavailable throughout Musoma or if it is not true. We discovered yesterday that people have carried fuel and are hiding it so that there is a shortage. So now you will receive a measured amount which is enough for now, and in the afternoon fuel will be here. The fuel tankers are at Butiama, Lamadi on their way, so do not hoard fuel.
And meanwhile, the Energy and Water Regulatory Authority, EWURA, has said that the reason for fuel shortage during the month of July was due to delayed arrival of vessels transporting fuel imports, and that they have now docked with 89.564 million litres of fuels, which is sufficient for 18 days in the domestic market.
Kwa nini kumekuwa na usambazaji ambao unaonekana mahala mafuta hayapo?
There has been distribution seen where there is no fuel, because at the end of July there was a shipment to arrive on the 27th of July with fuel that was delayed due to the monsoon winds, causing it to reduce its speed. And a 7-day delay, the ship has arrived and it is offloading the fuel.
The Minister of Land, Housing and Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, said 750 out of the 1,750-acre farm, which was owned by soap and allied industry, will be returned to the government, Mukuranga District Council, and the remaining will be allocated to residents to construct settlements. He made the statement when addressing residents of Lugwadu, Lazole and Magodani in Mukuranga District Coast Region.
Regarding the 700 acres of which you sent your representative to Dodoma and you made a complaint to Honorable President, today I'm here to find a resolution.
Namshukuru sana Mheshimiwa.
I commend the Minister in charge of Land, Honorable Lukuvi, for bringing us good news from our Honorable President John Pombe Magufuli.
Tunamshukuru sana, namtakia kazi njema.
The Defense and Security Committee in Handeni District, Tanga Region, has started to question leaders of farmers' associations following allegations of embezzlement of 3 billion shillings, which was allocated for farmers' loans.
You know farmers, both rich and poor. Why then did you not differentiate the two groups? People from Arusha and other regions were allowed to join, but not people from here. The letters I received are the ones I forwarded.
And the Minister of Agriculture, Jafet Asunga, said that his ministry has decided to extend the Naninane Agriculture Fair for another 2 days until the 10th of August this year, in order to enable more farmers to learn more on agricultural issues.
This year's exhibitions and celebrations are being held in 8 parts in the country. Nationally here in Bariadi, Simiyu region, zonally in Mwanza, which were officially launched yesterday, in Tabora, which involves Tabora and Kigoma regions, in the central zone, Dodoma, as well as in the east zone in Morogoro region, and in Lindi, Arusha and Bear regions.
Haya maonyesho kwanza kwangu mimi nimefaidika vya kutosha.
I have sufficiently benefited from these exhibitions because it is an opportunity that builds farmers, livestock keepers and fishermen to be able to get practical training that they can apply when they go back to their activities.
That's all for the national news. International news is next. And in international news, some healthcare workers in Kenya have gone on strike to demand payment of delayed salaries. In Homa Bay, county health personnel have said that they have not been paid 3-month salaries and that they will not return to work until they get paid. These developments come as Kenya confirms 605 new coronavirus cases, bringing the total to 23,202. And the government of Burundi has said that it is ready to receive nationals who have been living as refugees at Mahama camp in Rwanda after some of them requested for support for their return. The refugees had fled in 2015 due to political turmoil in the country.
We conducted an investigation so as to evaluate if the letter was accurate, and we have confirmed that it is and was written by refugees from the camp. The ministry is prepared to simplify the exercise to enable all those in Maha camp and those in other countries in other parts of Rwanda to return.
The government of Chad has said it has cut back the speed of internet to check the spread of messages inciting hate on social media. The government spokesman has said that the temporary measure was introduced on July 22nd because of the dissemination of messages that are inciting hate and division. The measures come after a video circulated on social media showing a military officer in a dispute with two young mechanics and firing at one of them. That is all for the international news. We'll be back with business news after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Investment, Angela Kairuki, has commended NMB Bank for the role it is playing in addressing challenges facing farmers and livestock keepers by empowering them economically.
This sector employs a lot of people, and you are doing a good job. We've been conducting training in financial awareness in our 26 cooperative unions and more in other zones.
Price inflation in Zanzibar went up from 3.4% to 3.6% during the month of July due to an increase in food prices.
Price inflation has been caused by an increase in prices of goods such as rice from there at 0.3%, sugar by 0.5%, fish by 0.9%, and kerosene by 2.7%. Zanzibar is doing well. We are still on 3.6%. Prices might have fluctuated slightly. There is what we call a negative balance due to presence of many goods in the market than the amount of money people have to buy.
The Chief Executive Officer of Capital Markets and Securities Authority, Nicodemus Mkama, has said that training on capital markets to higher learning its students will help to increase investment activities and employment creation, which will then lead to individual and national economic growth.
Hiyo tunatoa rai kwa wanafunzi wote katika vyuo vikuu Tanzania nzima.
Would like to invite all students from higher learning institutions to take part in this competition.
Nilifanikiwa kuwa mshindi wa kwanza.
I was a winner in female category and in the quiz competition.
And that's where we leave off with business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lind.
And now in sports. The National Athletics Association has warned the organizers of Njiro Fun Run, Dodoma Marathon and Utali Mpya Marathon that strong measures will be taken against them if they do not adhere to procedures for getting permits.
Sasa hivi katika WhatsApp naona tu kuna
I'm just seeing in WhatsApp there is Njiro Marathon scheduled to take place in Arusha on the 9th of August. The 9th is very near. Njiro Fun Run doesn't even have a permit, but they want to race on 9th of August. The second one is Dodoma Marathon. They have planned to race on 28th of November. This is a very short time. They need to seek a permit. The third one is Mlimani City, which in short is carrying the message of new tourism. They are racing on 25th of November. They need to seek permits.
Tanzania Handball Association TAHA, in collaboration with the Malia College of Sports, will organize competitions every first week of December with the aim of strengthening the national youth teams.
Malia, unaweza ukashangaa kwa nini tumepeleka kwanza.
You'll be surprised why we have sent the National Club Championships twice consecutively to Malia. Malia is a center where we believe all the sports people you see now are coming from. We have sent the youth competition to Malia because there are semesters in Malia which involve handball courses. So when we start the competitions, the college students will learn more practically.
And Manchester United are in advanced negotiations with Borussia Dortmund to sign Jadon Sancho for an initial £90 million, a fee that would set a transfer record for an English player. Here's the story.
United have been tracking Sancho for some time, with talks over a move for the former Manchester City player having intensified in recent weeks. While there is no agreement yet with Dortmund as it stands, it is understood the German club could accept a deal that would involve United paying the fee in installments over the next 2 or 3 seasons for the England forward, with a further €20 million potentially due in performance-related add-ons. Sancho, who left City at the age of 17 to move to the Bundesliga in 2017 in an effort to secure first-team football, is believed to be open to the move, having enjoyed a spectacular season in which he scored 17 goals and provided 16 assists. He is expected to sign a 5-year contract at Old Trafford if United can reach agreement with Dortmund, who are keen to resolve this future as soon as possible to enable them to purchase a replacement.
Willian is edging closer to leaving Chelsea after rejecting the club's latest attempts to persuade him to sign a new 2-year deal and has held talks over a move to Arsenal.
The winger has been unable to reach agreement with Chelsea over fresh terms because of his demands for a 3-year extension and is increasingly likely to leave after the second leg of the last 16 Champions League tie against Bayern Munich on Saturday. Although Willian is expected to lay a decision on his future until after that game, the chances of a breakthrough in negotiations with Chelsea are receding, boosting Arsenal's hopes of signing the 31-year-old. Frank Lampard has repeatedly said he wants to keep Willian, even though Chelsea have strengthened their attacking with the signings of Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech and remain in talks with Bayer Leverkusen over Kai Havertz. However, Chelsea's board do not want to hand a 3-year deal to the Brazilian international, who missed his side's defeat by Arsenal in the FA Cup final with an Achilles injury.
FIFA has forcefully rejected any suggestion of wrongdoing against its president Gianni Infantino after the Swiss Special Federal Prosecutor Stefan Keller announced a criminal investigation into him last week.
In a combative, at times scornful response, FIFA's Deputy General Secretary Alastair Bell said there was no factual basis whatsoever for allegations of criminality. He said FIFA had not yet even been notified of any allegations, and he expressed impatience with the Swiss investigations to alleged corruption during the previous FIFA regime before Infantino was elected in February 2016, promising to reform a clean-up FIFA. The new criminal investigation relates to 3 meetings Infantino had after his election with Switzerland's then Attorney General Michael Lauber, who was investigating many different allegations of corruption under the previous president of 17 years, Sepp Blatter.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, I am Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.